You know that feeling, right? You're scrolling through your phone and you see someone's life and just think, wow, I wish that was me. It happens to pretty much all of us. So today, let's get into why we feel that way and, more importantly, why it might be the very thing holding you back from your own happiness. So there you are, just scrolling through your feed, and bam, it hits you. That little pang of, am I doing enough? Am I falling behind? It's such a common feeling, seeing all these picture perfect moments that can make you second guess your own life, your own progress. I mean, it's all there, isn't it? The dream job, the incredible vacation spots, the flawless family portraits. It all looks so easy, so perfect. And it's almost impossible not to feel that little twinge of envy and think, man, I wish I had that. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. What we're seeing is just a highlight reel. It's never, ever the full story. Behind every single one of those perfect posts, you can bet there are struggles, sacrifices, and a whole lot of stuff we just don't get to see. And that right there leads us straight into what I call the comparison trap. This is where that feeling of not being good enough really sinks its teeth in and starts to mess with our own happiness. Let's just boil it all down for a second. What's the end game for everyone? Seriously, it's happiness. Whether you're trying to build a business empire, raise a wonderful family, or just see the world, we're all just trying to get to that same place. We take different roads, sure, but the destination is always happiness. So, when we fall into that comparison trap, we're doing more than just making ourselves miserable. We're actually disrespecting our own journey. It's like telling yourself, my path isn't valid unless it looks exactly like theirs. And that way of thinking, well, it's a one-way ticket to unhappiness. Okay, so what is really going on behind the curtain of those perfect lives? This brings us to a really crucial idea, the price of perfection. Let's take a look. I absolutely love this saying. A big ship faces big waves. It's just so perfect, right? It means that the bigger the success, the bigger the challenges that come along with it. You can't have one without the other. The bigger your ship, the rougher the seas you're going to have to sail. And this is where we see the real trade-offs. What you see on the outside, that success and wealth, it's often built on a foundation of private sacrifice and struggle. That look of constant joy, it could be hiding some really deep personal heartache. And all that power and influence, sometimes that comes at the heartbreaking cost of neglecting your own family. Let me tell you a quick story that just drives this whole thing home. Picture this. There was this incredibly powerful man. I mean, on the outside, he was the definition of success. He had immense wealth, incredible status, and everyone respected him. But behind that shiny exterior was a really profound failure. See, in his constant chase for more success, he never made the time to actually teach his own kids, to be present for them. He gave them all the money in the world, but he didn't give them his wisdom, his values, or his time. And the tragic outcome of all this became painfully clear right after he passed away. Instead of grieving for their father, his kids were immediately at each other's throats, fighting over the inheritance. All that work, all that success, and it couldn't buy him a loving family in the end. He won the game of life out in the world, but he lost at home. That story is pretty sobering, and it brings us to our next big idea, finding your own path. This is all about tearing up that scorecard we think we're being graded on and starting to appreciate our own unique journey for what it is. You know, every single one of us has our own destiny, our own unique value. It's not a race against anybody else. Trying to measure your journey with someone else's yardstick, it's like trying to measure the temperature with a ruler. It's the wrong tool for the job. It makes no sense. Think about it like this, okay? A fish is an absolute master in the water, unbeatable. But on land, it's helpless. A turtle, on the other hand, is steady and protected on land. The point is, you have to find your own element, the place where your strengths shine. Don't judge yourself for how well you can climb a tree if you're meant to swim. And you know what that takes? Patience. We're so wired to want instant results, but life is a marathon, not a 100-meter dash. It's a long, long journey. Where you are right now is just one chapter, not the whole book. So you have to be patient with your own progress. So, after all that, where do we go from here? Let's wrap this up by talking about the true destination and how we can actually start moving toward it. And this really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If we stop trying to live someone else's life, what are we supposed to be doing instead? What's the new goal? Well, I think the answer is right here, in these 3 steps. First, just recognize when you're comparing. Acknowledge it and remind yourself it's a trap that leads to unhappiness. Second, always remember to see the full picture. Remember that big ship and its big waves. And finally, and this is the most important one, you have to respect your own path. Value what makes you you, because you are truly one of a kind. So I'm going to leave you with this one final thought to chew on. Instead of looking out at everyone else's life and wishing it were yours, just take a moment, look inward, and stop asking what their happiness looks like, and start asking yourself, what's my happiness look like?